Think back to the last time that something happened in your life where you felt like all hell was breaking loose. Nothing was going according to plan. Something terrible was going on, and it resulted in you panicking. It resulted in you making some sort of emotional decision instead of the logical decision. So the other day, nothing too big, at least in my opinion, happened. But my reaction was noticed by my entire team. So Nick and Sema were here in town in the office. They live in Florida. They were here in Texas. We had a scheduled live 2:22 p.m. I'm supposed to be going live with Aaron. Aaron calls and says, hey, an emergency came up. I'm not going to be able to make the call. Nothing big. I said, all right, sounds good, bro. Go take care of your stuff. I said, hey, we need to change the thumbnail because it's got Aaron. People are expecting Aaron. We need to change the description. Let's move on with the live. I'll just do live seller calls. Boom. Showed up, did the live, went live for like 2.5 hours. Like nothing happened. It wasn't a big thing. But several people on my team were like, dude, you reacted so calm. Like, it's already nerve-wracking enough to be going live. I think there was like, by the end of the video, there was like 700 people had watched the video. Now it's a couple of thousand. And they were just like, it's already nerve-wracking enough for what you're doing and what you have to do with the live seller calls and be prepared for that and make sure everything goes down correctly and perform. And then when you got thrown a curveball, all hell broke loose. You responded just like it was nothing. And they were like, I think it would be a great video for you to talk about how you handle those situations. So this one little circumstance, this one little instance kind of led me to think, like, I've had some pretty crazy stuff happen in my life. I shared one time on the podcast and on this YouTube channel about when I got robbed at Pizza Hut and held at knife point. They held the knife to my throat and walked me through that and how I handled that situation. So if you want to watch that, you go watch that video. It's on my YouTube channel. But today I'm actually going to share a story and how I handle these situations and why I handle them the way that I do that I've never shared before. I've always felt kind of icky talking about it. But this is several years ago. It was, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And heard a loud banging, jumped out of my bed. And I was still somewhat delusional. I was probably right in the middle of my REM sleep thinking back about it. And ran to the back door. Because I guess my immediate thought is someone must be trying to break in the house from the backyard. And then I realized it was coming from the front. So I ran to the front and I actually looked out a window and I saw there's all sorts of policemen and SWAT gear and, they guns pulled and everything. And about 5-6 seconds later, front door gets busted in and they got the guns pointed at me and they're screaming, put your hands up. I'm in my underwear. Okay. So I put my hands up. I get dragged outside. It was February. And February in Texas is probably the coldest month. It's probably 20 degrees. It was definitely not comfortable to be standing out in my driveway in my underwear. But I got handcuffed, essentially arrested. And it was really weird because it was FBI agents. So the FBI was raiding my house. And I'll never forget the two FBI agents that talked to me directly. The first question they asked was, do you have COVID? So this is back in the COVID days. Said no. They checked my temperature, saw that I didn't have it, and put a mask on me. So I had my underwear and a mask on, and I'm in handcuffs standing in about 20-degree temperatures in my driveway. Needless to say, the street was just lined with police cars. Neighbors were coming out, staring at me. Highly, highly embarrassing. And I'll never forget the FBI agent said, do you know why we're here? I said, absolutely not. I have no idea. Now, they had a warrant to search my house, which I guess also gives them permission to handcuff me and whatnot. And they said, you know why we're here. Just, come out with it. It's better for you just to admit to it. Typical stuff that you see in TV shows. It was pretty similar to what I've seen on movies and TV shows. And they went and they searched the house. Removed my family, made sure the dogs didn't. They made sure the dogs got put up. Just craziness. My kids seeing me handcuffed, they were crying. And I just remember it was a very surreal moment. I think most people would have been somewhat shell shocked, but also somewhat freaking out. And I remember I was just so calm there. And I remember they said, do you have any idea why we would be here then? If you're not just going to tell us. I said, I'm a real estate investor. I mean, I can't think of any reason why you would be here unless something went terribly wrong with a deal that I don't know about. Eventually, after they cleared the house, they brought me inside. And then, after asking me quite a few questions, I think they started realizing that I really had no idea why they were here. And they were there to search electronic devices. Long story short, someone had hacked into my internet and used my IP address to download some illegal content. And they thought it was me because I fit the profile. I'll let you read between the lines, but I'm a middle-aged white man, and that profile is the profile for the content that was downloaded. And so they thought I was guilty. They thought they were going to show up and arrest me. They went through all the cell phones, computers, every electronic device in my house, and found that there was no illegal content that was downloaded. And after about 3 to 4 hours of literally turning my house upside down, took the handcuffs off, let me put some clothes on, sign some documents. And it was funny, as we were signing the documents, basically saying that they made a mistake. One of the officers or agents, I guess, he looked at me and he said, I've been in the FBI for 20 years. I've never actually had to fill this paperwork out. We don't ever get this wrong. We don't make this mistake. And, they offered some therapy for the kids for the trauma that they had to go through. They paid for the repairs to the door and the damages that they did to the house and whatnot. And then it was over. I'll never forget. They walked out, and it was then my job to go buy a new front door and get it taken care of because it was 20 degrees outside in February. And, I went through the situation, and I'm not going to lie. Afterwards, it was pretty traumatic. It was, I had to deal with some stuff there, having guns pointed at you, being arrested, feeling like, my life's being, potentially taken away from me, and not knowing that I did nothing, not understanding why I'd be getting arrested. Luckily, I never got put in the back of a car or anything like that. I just got handcuffed and asked questions and was at my house proven innocent and never heard from them again outside of them paying the bill for the damages for my house. And I look back at it and I'm so grateful that in the moment I handled the situation the way that I did. Staying calm, not ever being overly emotional in the moment, just really focused on staying in the moment and making sure that they understood who I was and that I was not the person that they were trying to find, and being calm throughout that. And one of the things that I want you to realize is when we talk about these crazy things that can happen in life, First of all, understand that everyone is going to have different things that happen in their life that are going to be traumatic, whether it's something crazy like being robbed at knife point, FBI raiding your house, something in the moment happening that throws you for a loop, a deal falling apart, a significant amount of money being taken away from you, being robbed of money being stolen from you. So many different circumstances that have happened. And I always look back, and I'm always so grateful when I look back at it and I say I was able to stay calm in that moment. One reason why I'm able to stay calm is during those moments, I always realize two different things. One, this is impacting other people than just you. It's bigger than just you. When the FBI raided my house, my kids were there. My kids saw my reaction. They saw how I handled that situation. When I was being robbed, there was people that love and care about me. And if I tried to fight those guys and potentially get injured or hurt, or if I hurt one of them, or if I kill one of them, that's something I have to live with for the rest of my life. And it's something that all of my loved ones have to live with for the rest of life. So in that moment, I always think about this is bigger than just the way that I'm feeling, because there's so many other people that are impacted by this than just me. Okay. So that's one thing. Second thing to remember is no matter how bad the situation is at the moment, it's always going to end at some point. There's always going to be a moment where you can look back and say, the FBI raided my house. It's not the FBI is raiding my house. And thinking about the fact that there's always a conclusion to every single one of these moments really helps me get through that moment. The other thing when we talk about this is you guys know I'm a big comic book nerd. I love the comic book movies, and one of my favorite characters out there is Batman. That being said, the reason why I love Batman is because he has some of the greatest villains, and the Joker being the ultimate villain. And in The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger's Joker has a great quote. It says, "You know what I've noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot or a truckload of soldiers will be blown up, nobody panics because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little mayor will die, well, then everyone loses their mind. Introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fair." One thing I want you to realize is the Joker on a deeper level is actually kind of making fun of us, saying that we lack the ability to control ourselves and our reaction to chaos. So if the vast majority of people cannot handle moments of chaos when things don't go according to plan, but you can find a way to navigate through that, no matter how you do it. The things that I do is I focus on my breath, my breathing. I realize that this is more than just about me. There's other people that are relying on my reaction to this moment, whether it's a business transaction, a decision for my business. Everyone on my team is relying on me to stay cool, calm, and collected and make the correct decision in the moment, or whether it's when something just chaotic as hell, like being robbed at knife point or raided by the FBI, and it's my loved ones, my business partners, my children are relying on me not to get hurt and to come out of this on the other end unscathed like I did in both circumstances. It's my responsibility to do that. And then the last part of this is that in that moment, you have to understand that this is going to be a short-lived moment. Even though at that time, that moment of truth, it doesn't feel like it's ever going to end, it's going to. If you can do that, then you've already got such a leg up on everybody else in this world, because that's what people struggle with. They can't handle the chaos. So if you could, because chaos is going to find you no matter what. All hell is going to break loose. Whether it's something large that you'll remember for the rest of your life, like the FBI raiding your house or being robbed at gunpoint, whatever it is, or it's something little like last second, someone not showing up to a meeting or a video, or there's people relying on you, or you get thrown a curveball at the last second. Maybe that's not something you'll remember for the rest of your life, but you might if you handle it incorrectly. You might make it one of those situations that you remember for the rest of your life. Find a way to navigate through the chaos, because most people cannot. And those are the ways that I do it. So my team asked me to come do this video because they've witnessed me doing this time and time again. I hope you found value in this. Hope you appreciate me sharing that, like I said, rather personal story. I really don't like talking about it, but I want to be as transparent with you guys as possible as to how I feel I've gotten to where I am in this journey of life, being an entrepreneur. I hope the moments of chaos don't happen to you, but when they do, this is how I overcome it. I hope this helps you. Let me know in the comments if it did. Give me a like in this video. Appreciate you guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.